In Burbank, California, Worldwide Pictures President Cliff Barrows shares a few intimate highlights.
Hello. Welcome to Worldwide Pictures. I'm glad we're going to have a few moments together. Actually, I've wanted to take an opportunity to talk to you about an exciting new film project that is taking shape here at our California studios. By the way, while we're in the neighborhood, here's something you can't afford to miss. Breathtaking, isn't it? Over 134,000 was the official figure given for the closing meeting of the Los Angeles Crusade. As I recall, with the additional thousands that were let onto the field that night, the Coliseum was a little short on elbow room. Looking back, we're impressed with the fact that Los Angeles was primarily a youth crusade. For in the brief period of 21 days, over 14,000 young people made a public commitment to Jesus Christ.
Here's the folder you wanted, Mr. Barrows.
Thank you, Virginia. The Restless Ones. A pretty apt description of teenagers around the world. But let's move into the screening theater. We've put together a few highlights from the film, and rather than my talking to you about it, we wanted you folks to have a first-hand preview of some of the scenes from this new production. I guess one picture is still worth 1,000 words. Well, here's one time we have our choice of seats. How about one right here on the front row? All set? Okay, Dan, looks like we're ready.
We snagged a lousy cut.
Something's happened to David. Steve?
No, he's all right. He's in jail.
Jail?
No parent should ignore the restless ones.
God has been a stranger in this family for years. You can't expect David to feel at home with a stranger. It takes getting used to.
And when temptation comes, accept the fact that it's the normal to be tempted, that it's normal to have sex hunger. Accept that. But watch out. And then refuse to allow that sex power to be directed into forbidden channels. You have a will.
The Restless Ones was inspired by Mr. Graham's popular youth night messages. His straight-from-the-shoulder counsel spoke to thousands of young hearts.
But the Bible says, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Now, don't go so far in petting that you lose control and then at the last minute call on God. It's too late.
Maybe I've been thinking. Maybe some night we could go somewhere. Just the two of us, I mean.
A film that takes an honest look at the temptations faced by young people every day of their lives.
But David, think what you're doing to all of us.
While you're at it, young man, you just think of juvenile hall. Now, you've got a good chance of being a permanent resident down there.
April tried to kill herself.
A story demanded by the times in which we live.
Kids think you go around with a list of don'ts a mile long. When Christ came into my life, he added to it. He didn't take away.
Some say come, some say go, happiness may bring. But the song that gives you strength is good for you to sing. Sing.
No story dealing with our young people today would be complete without the hoopla of a hootenanny.
But the next we set aside to worship him and pray.
The great thing is, Christ is there to help, like he promised, you know? But first, you've got to ask. Start the ball rolling. I've found that you can tell Christ anything.
A spiritually powerful screen experience.
Faith gives your life a cutting edge. Every goal becomes more meaningful. Every day becomes an inner adventure with him. This doesn't mean we lose our individualism, just the opposite. It means realizing our real worth, hitting our maximum potential. Christ lights the candle of our spirits, and we become new men and women.
We're constantly seeking new ways to broaden the film ministry's evangelistic impact. And to that end, we've asked the Lord to lead us in a direction that would involve you and those around you in a very specific way. This fall, The Restless Ones will be premiered in key cities across the nation on an admission basis, shown in a manner that will be acceptable to the secular audience that we're prayerfully determined to reach. This works for you in several ways. First of all, your guests will be invited to a civic auditorium or theater, and they'll be more receptive knowing that you haven't asked them to attend a regular church service, the very ones who aren't with you right now. Secondly, and this is very important, they will know that you cared for them because you purchased their ticket. It just isn't another casual invitation. And third, your guests won't be asked to mumble their way through unfamiliar hymns or to pass an offering plate. We're not unmindful of these things that Satan has often used to close the door of their heart to the message. We want to ask you now to begin to pray for the friends that you will be able to invite when the film premiere is held in your area. Prayerfully examine your sphere of influence. In a few weeks, you'll be hearing more about The Restless Ones.